Hey guys, I'm down here at the Gambler Warehouse with the owner of Gambler, Valasinski. And you know what? I gotta be the first to admit, I'm not a big worm guy, but I'm also not stupid. I know that when it comes down to it, having a good selection of worms in the boat that kind of cross a lot of different planes when it comes to cover, presentation is hugely important, and anybody on the water really needs that right base variety to get on fish when that worm bite is on. And so Val, you got a gear up package that's geared towards worms.
Yeah, this is time of year. It's time to get geared up, guys, and there's always a worm bag rigged up in rod in my boat, whether it's 1/8 ounce to 1/4 or 5/16, and it's something that I always count on if things are going tough or you're just trying to establish there's fish in the area. It's just hard to beat casting a worm out. The fish just react to it, and it catches. The reason these baits have been around for 30 years.
Exactly.
I'm going to show you some baits. They're old school. I mean, the stuff that put Gambler on the map, and these baits have caught millions of bass. We've made millions of these baits, and the gear up is a cool package. It gets you a good selection of everything we have to offer, and get you started on it.
Well, what I'm interested in, I can just get this bag and I got stick baits like the Ace. I got ribbon tail baits. I got Magnum stick baits. I got finesse worms like the Sweevo. What's all in here, and what does it cover from a fishing technique?
Yeah, when we make these gear up bags, we look at our top selling items. Stuff that other people are using around you. It might not be telling you they're using them, whatever. Right. But these are things that are in our top sellers across these style of baits, and they're going to range from a Sweevo worm, which is a real slender profile, Carolina rig, light Texas rig. All across the country, it's a fish catching bait. That profile has always done well, and we've got a green pumpkin candy and a June bug green pumpkin in there, which it's hard to argue with those colors.
That's a killer color because that's that two-tone, right? That's
the
with the green
color,
pumpkin and
it's
the
really
June bug.
natural, clear water. Dirty water. It's just always going to catch fish. It's one of the. It's tough sometimes. You get overwhelmed by all the color decisions you have, guys, and that's part of this package. Takes some of those decisions out and gives you baits that we have confidence in, and you should have confidence in, that you go out there and cast and catch fish on it. So that we kind of start off with that one. And then no Gambler worm bag or tackle box would be complete without our 7-inch ribbon tail or our 10-inch ribbon tail. These are really the first baits, the original first baits that Gambler made, and the June bug 7-inch ribbon tail for a long time was just something everybody had on, and not as I find it's a good bait now because not as many guys have thrown it as much as they used to, because you get into fancier and moving parts and all different stuff, and there's a lot of times I go behind someone who's fishing reeds, and I can go in behind casting a ribbon tail and start getting bites. It's just something that's kind of forgotten in a sense, but it's still a great bait. Our designs are on our ribbon tails have the tails are kind of designed not to wrap around grass as much, so if you're fishing around reeds and grass, it's a real benefit. The ribbon tails obviously have great action, and the 7-inch and 10-inch are two staples that should be in everyone's boat.
It's funny you say that too. I was hanging out with Mike Sermon actually on Okeechobee once, and he was telling me, I'm like, why didn't you pick up another worm, man? And he's like, these tails on these worms get through the cover, through those round reeds, through the real sticky stuff like no other worm. They're designed to do it, and I had no idea, man. So that's
I wish I could take credit for the design, but this is something that was around before I had the company. But we keep making them, keep selling them. It's an awesome bait. That, again, one of those things where you guys, if you're not throwing a worm, sometimes you can really be a difference maker in the boat. And Mike's a great example of it. There's not a time I don't get on the boat with Mike and he doesn't have 10-inch June bug ribbon tail, 5/16 ounce.
Guilty.
Weight. Especially this time of year when in our kind of pre-spawn time frame and fish get around these reeds. It's just a real easy presentation and a great fish catching bait. The other baits, Mike, we have in here is a stick bait, which is revolutionized fishing for a long time, and we've got a variety pack in here of 3 different sizes now. We just came out with a new giant 7.5-inch one. It's a real big profile, but it comes with 4 colors of the 5 1/4, and then 4 colors are a 6-inch Fat Ace, which talk to JT Kenny about this bait.
That's what I was just thinking about.
If you follow our stuff, you'll see a lot of JT Kenny is one of his definite go-to baits. He's won $125,000 on it last year, and
he loves that thing. When those fish are pre-spawn, not even pre-spawn, but staging or bedding, there's no other bait that he'll pick up. Like, that's his deal.
Yeah, there's no doubt when I get in there, when I'm fishing through an area and I want to know if there's fish there, it's hard to pick this up and not get bit if there's fish around. And it might not be the way I end up catching them in a tournament, but it's definitely a fish finding bait for me.
It gets bites, man.
It gets bites, and the different sizes now. I really, I looked at the big one we started doing, the 7-inch one, and it looks really big, but when you start throwing it and you start catching fish on it, you get really comfortable with it in your hand. So we put a couple colors of that in there, and a little heavier on the 5 1/4 and the 6-inch.
The universal stuff. Yeah,
exactly. It'll go across the board for everything.
Cool. All right, Val, so you laid out basically what I need to get so that I have the stuff to fish worms when I need to fish worms. I'm not going to lean towards it all the time, but I know it catches fish, and I know you need to have that skill and understand that technique. And this is the best group of baits and colors to do it in. Where can I get it?
Well, gamblerlures.com, it's a $49 package with shipping included. Also includes a gear up bag in there, and we made it that way on purpose. So if for someone who's not comfortable with fishing this bait, who wants to get into it, this is all you need.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about going through 20 different colors we make. This is the best fish cut stuff we have. You're not going to get it at a better price. It's just a great way to have a selection of these ready for you next time you're on the lake.
Sweet. Well, check them out, gambler-lures.com. It's the gear up package, killer deal. Everything you need to worm fish, like from stick baits to ribbon tails to finesse worms. And you get the dry bag.
Yeah, you can be anywhere, from a canal, on the bank, walking a bank, in a kayak, in your bass boat, in a tournament. It doesn't matter. This package is going to catch fish.
Sweet. Well, check it out, gambler-lures.com, the new gear up package.